guys, it's Jordan. We're back with another story time. So yeah, we have like a new location. Not really, I just moved my bed around. Introduce you guys to this new little hole. I punched that hole a year ago. I'm working on my anger issues, patched it right on up. But okay, so today's video is gonna be a story time about my worst fucking date ever. I'm really excited to film this story time because it wasn't that long ago, so I remember a lot of details. This was probably like a year ago. Well, do I remember a lot of the details? I don't know. Okay, we'll just jump into the story time. Okay, if you haven't already, click the post notification bell so you never miss a post. Follow my Instagram at Jordan Araya and my TikTok and my Twitter at Jordan from Vegas with a Z. But okay, let's get into the story. Okay, so this happened when I was in 10th grade. So like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I'm about to graduate. So I was playing a sport. I'm gonna just say all the details because fucking bitch. Okay, so I was playing a sport. I was playing softball. So if you play softball, you know, you see the baseball players a lot. Like, a lot. You don't really not see them unless your school's, like, weird about it. But we've seen our baseball players a lot. Like, basically every day. So, one of my friends on the team, her best friend was on the baseball team. Her best friend was on the baseball team. So, she had been trying to plug us for a while. And I was kind of like, you know, he's not really my type. Like, no. I had came out already. But I was still trying to decide if I liked girls really or if I liked boys really. I already came out as bisexual, but I was still like confused. I didn't know. So she was trying to play me with her friend, and I'm just like, no, I don't really want to mess with him, whatever. So finally one day she introduced me to him after practice. I'm like, oh, he's cool. I had told a few of my friends about him, and they're like, oh, he's a bitch. They're like, don't fuck with him, like he's a bitch, like no. But I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna mess with him. I'm gonna see like what it's about. So we're texting here and there, and I'm like, okay, he's cool. Like, you know, he definitely is different than me, but he's cool. He just was kind of one of those people. He was really entitled and felt like he was owed everything. And he was a crybaby. Like, I don't really like that necessarily. But that's just the vibe that I got from him. Of course, he's probably different to other people, but that's just the vibe that I was getting from this dude. So I'm like, okay, whatever. One day he FaceTimed me and we're talking, and I kind of knew, like, okay, you know, I think I just was talking to him so I could see if I really was bisexual. So one time we were on FaceTime and he licked his lips and a big ass fucking loogie went on his, please, I'll throw up. He licked his lips and a big ass fucking loogie went on his lip, a big ass loogie, and he was like, oh shit, and put it back in his mouth, dude. So I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So fast forward probably like 2 weeks from that, he's like, okay, let me take you out sometime. I'm like, okay, like just let me know when. He's like, okay, I'll pick you up, yada yada yada. What do you want to do? I'm like, oh, I don't know. We had planned to go to the drive-in. Okay. So we're both in high school. I'm not expecting him to pay for me, but I feel like if you take somebody out on a date, if you ask them to go out on a date, you should pay for them because it was your idea. These are your plans. I didn't ask you to take me on a date. You asked to take me on one. So, but I didn't expect that because we're both young. He was a little older than me. He was a year older than me. So he was in 11th grade. I was in 10th grade. But, you know, we're still young. We both play sports. We don't have a job right now. So I'm not expecting him to pay for me. So I remember a few days prior telling my dad, I'm like, I'm going to need like $30. I'm going to the drive-in. I don't know what else I'm going to do. Just pocket money. And my dad's like, oh, this dude's taking you out on a date. I'm like, yeah. He's like, why is he not paying? So that was like red flag to my dad because he's like, if this dude wants to take you out, why is he not paying for you? He's like, does he like you? I'm like, I guess. He's like, well, he doesn't like you if he doesn't want to pay for you. So I don't know. So the day comes and my older sister's helping me get ready. I wish I remember what the fuck I wore. But my older sister was helping me get ready for the date. I was nervous. I was texting his best friend because, like I said, his best friend was my friend. I'm texting her. She's so excited. She wants us to go out so bad. Da-da-da-da-da. But he was just so odd. So that day comes. He's like, I'm outside your house. He didn't, like, get out the car and open the door for me. I'm not a princess. I can open the door for my fucking self. But it's just, like, I've had people do that for me. So it's automatically like, okay, I just see what kind of person you are. Because I've had people come to my door and get me. Or open the door for me and wait for me by their car. So it's just like, okay, I took note of that. Like, I don't need you to do that. But I noticed it. So he just was waiting in his car for me. So I go to the car. I open the door. I get in. He's like, hey, like, do you want to get something to eat? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, we can. He put on his music. He didn't ask me if I wanted to listen to anything. He was driving really fast, and usually I'm the kind of person in the car, this is your car, drive how you want. But when you like are doing too much, I'm gonna let you know. Like, I don't like that. So I let him know. I was like, hey, like, you're driving a little fast. Like, is there any way that you could just like slow down, hit these corners a little slower? Like, you can play with your life by yourself. Don't play with your life with me in here. I don't play like that. So I let him know, like, you know, chill out, basically. He's like, oh, I know how to drive my car. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. I'm glad you know how to drive the vehicle you're in. But, you know, just slow it down, bitch. So, anyway, so we went to Cane's. We go, and he's like, oh, go order first. So I'm like, okay, I have to pay for myself. Which I said, I don't mind. I don't mind. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I expect people to pay for me. But if you're asking me out on a date, you would think that you would, because you asked me on a date. I didn't ask you to come out on a date. Like, it's not even like a boy and a girl thing. If a girl asks you on a date, she should pay because she asked you to come. It's like, you see what I mean? So I paid for my meal, and like I said, I had like $30. So I probably had like 20 something left. He goes and pays for his meal. He had $100 bill, and I'm like, you're fucking weird. Like, you're weird as hell. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Keep in mind, I'm 15, 16 years old. I'm like, whatever the fuck. So we sat and we ate our Cane's a little bit. He's like, hey, let's finish it at the drive-in. I'm like, okay. So we go to the drive-in. He pays for both of us. I think the drive-in's like $7.50 each. So what's that, like $15 or $16? I don't know. I think it's 15. I don't know. But yeah, so he pays for us to go to the drive-in. We're eating the rest of our Cane's. And at this point, I already know I don't like this boy. Like, I don't fuck with you like that. Like, we're not clicking with each other. We're talking, but it's not like we're talking and I'm like, oh yeah, I fuck with you. He's like, does my car smell like weed? Does my car smell like weed? I don't want my car to smell like weed. I smoked in here before I got you, dude. My grandpa gave me this car. I don't want it to smell like weed. Because if it smells like weed to him, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, oh my god, then don't smoke in the car. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And I'm like, no, like, it doesn't smell like weed to me. Like, what the hell? So he tried to kiss me, and if I don't like you, I don't want to kiss you. So I moved, and I'm like, oh, I don't kiss on the first date. I'll kiss on the first fucking second if I like you, but I didn't like him. So I'm like, oh, I don't kiss on the first date. And he's like, oh, okay. And the movie was hella boring. So I'm like, you want to do something else? Like, let's go get ice cream. So we went to Cold Stone. Again, I paid for my own ice cream. He wanted me to pay for his too, and I was like, no. I said no. And I paid for my own ice cream, and he paid for his. Girl, it had me. He was like, we should just pay it together. No. So then he's like, yeah, I would have paid for everything, but like the rest of this hundo I'm putting in with my friends to get some weed. Like, that's why I didn't pay. I don't care. So I'm like, you know, I'm ready to go home. So he takes me home. Tries to get another kiss. No. And I remember I went in. I don't remember if I told his friend or not, but I just remember I was like, yeah, I don't really like him. Like, the date, it went bad. I might have told her it went good just to be nice, but I remember coming home and telling my sister, like, I don't like him. Like, he's weird. He's not a gentleman. Is my candle out? He's not a gentleman at all. I don't like him. Like, no. Oh my god. It's like doing the thing because I didn't let it burn all the way the first time I lit it. Whatever. But yeah. So, I just didn't like him. I didn't fuck with him. So, yeah, that's the story of my worst fucking date ever. I hope you guys like this story time. Drop some comments and let me know how you feel about it or what story times you guys want to hear from me next. Bye, guys.